So then Wolves have got another 3 points. They've beaten Leeds United tonight, 1-0 at Elland Road. My name's Dave from Talking Wolves. I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the game today. As always, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Well, what a game. A very, very interesting tie. I think we said in the preview it was going to be a really, really tight game with how Leeds had started. Obviously, they had the momentum from going up last season as well, and their really high-pressing game. And on that first 45 minutes, I think Leeds fans will be really, really disappointed probably that they didn't get anything out of the game. Wolves sat really, really deep, invited the pressure, but defended and obviously coped with it well. The team lineup was something that was going to be quite intriguing ahead of the game. With no real injury or fitness problems as such for Nuno that we know of. It was it was going to be interesting to see how he started off. Rui Patricio got the nod again in goal, as you'd expect. The back three was the exact same as that Fulham, with Max Kilman getting the nod again. We'll talk a lot more about him in the rest of this video with Cody and Bolly. Romain Saiz keeping his place at left wing back. Nelson Semedo at right wing back. Moutinho coming back into the midfield with Dendoncker, and a front three of Jimenez, Podence and Neto. A lot of eyebrows raised at the Saiz decision again, especially with us bringing in Aït-Nouri, who travelled but wasn't in the squad, and Marcel, who was on the bench today. Vitinha as well didn't make the squad, but he did travel. So it was very, very interesting to see Nuno's thinking. But the first half especially, we just sat really deep, didn't we? We allowed Leeds a lot of the ball. We had a couple of half chances ourselves, really, but Leeds were the more likely to score, knocking the ball into the area a lot. It was obvious that they thought that maybe we had a weakness aerially, but Wolves dealt with it really well. Patrick Bamford did get a goal, but he was offside. That was obviously chalked off. But other than that, Leeds, it was all Leeds first half. Wolves had that one chance right at the end of the game, end of the half, where Romain Saiz volleyed it back across goal, and Podence fired it straight at the goalkeeper, where that could have easily been a goal. But I think we were quite fortunate to go in at half-time 0-0. For me as a fan, I was, it was sort of new. It was Wolves of the last year or two, wasn't it? Sitting back, sussing out the opposition, and try and strike in the second half. And I think it sort of works in a sense because Wolves knew that Leeds were going to play this high-pressing game, and Nuno obviously wanted to preserve the energy as much as we could, and that's what we did, and in the end it sort of worked in our favour in the second half. Wolves got out of the blocks really, really well in the second half. We had a number of opportunities really knocking on the door, and obviously the key moment there was Romain Saiz having the ball in the back of the net. What a finish that was, by the way. Lovely ball, obviously the ball in from Daniel Podence, sort of half cleared. And the way Romain Saiz at left wing back, who looked actually pretty threatening going forward, the way he's flicked that ball up and volleyed it across goal and finds the back of the net. I thought it was a fantastic goal. Obviously, unfortunately, Podence was a yard or two offside, so that was chalked off. But Wolves did really, really well. Just grew into the game. But everything Leeds threw at Wolves, it seemed like Max Kilman was just in the way of it. And for such a young lad, I say young, he's still sort of, I think he's a little bit older than people expect. I think he's about 23. But for someone that's so inexperienced at this top level to come in the last two games and look as calm and as composed as he has done, I think it's fantastic. And Wolves now, it'd be a real shame to see him knocked out of the team. I think he's genuinely, Sky Sports gave him man of the match. He's made that centre-back position his own over the last two games or so, and he's very rarely got opportunities, but these last two games, especially today, he's sort of said to Nuno, look, I'm not giving this place up easily, and I think he more or less deserves. And I think that might be why Saiz played at left wing back, because he's been okay the opening stage of the season, and I think Nuno doesn't want to drop Kilman either, so he sort of had to come to some sort of compromise, and he started the same back five as last time. But Wolves did eventually get their goal, a bit more pressure on the Leeds half. It was a ball forward from Kilman. Nice little run from Jimenez. I thought he'd overdone it, to be fair. Picks the ball up on the wings and ran in field and got it back onto his right foot and got a shot away. It took a wicked deflection off Calvin Phillips and ended up in the back of the net. But you'll take those every day of the week, especially at the moment where Wolves aren't exactly firing on all cylinders. It was nice to grab a goal, and obviously unfortunate for Leeds, but we'll take it. But they carried on pressing and pressing. They made it difficult for us, but defensively it's great to get a clean sheet on the road as well. I think that all of the defence played their part. The organisation, the resilience, everything about the back five today was great. The midfield too, in Dendoncker and Moutinho, worked really hard. Moutinho, I was a little bit worried about starting the game. There were little spells where you you could tell he was a little bit leggy, but other than that, I think he dictated the game really well. Dendoncker doing the dirty work as well. I think he started the move, didn't he, right at the end of that first half to get that ball into Sace, who played it across to Podence. Dendoncker, with his pace, running down that wing. The only other talking point maybe is that Jimenez little incident at the end of the game. I wouldn't have been upset, I wouldn't have been angry at the referee if Raul got shown a red for that. You've seen reds given for that. I think he was extremely lucky. I think Wolves were quite lucky that Raul didn't, obviously the ref didn't go to the screen to have a look at that, but Wolves were quite fortunate about that. And it would have been interesting, obviously, because Raul really is the main man in this Wolves team, and he has got another goal, albeit via a huge deflection, and it's good that Wolves have got another 3 points. I think we're up to 6th now. That's how crazy the league has been. It still feels like a bit of an underwhelming start to the season, I think, for a lot of Wolves fans, but the fact that Wolves are up there in 6th place in the league, sort of doing what we need to do at the moment. We've got that crucial one against Fulham before the international break, and a lot of people were really unhappy with that performance. But I said, although it wasn't a great performance, to take 3 points into the international break is vital, and Wolves can build on this performance again today against Leeds, a team that have come into the Premier League, done really, really well, gave Wolves a really tough game today. The result could have been so different if they put their chances away in the first half, but Wolves took their chances, did what they need to do, and got a huge 3 points. And if we want to succeed and continue doing what we're doing in the league, that's what we've got to do. We've got to start getting points, and 3 points in games that maybe we weren't quite the better team. But that's my thoughts on the game. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well, guys. Don't forget the pre-orders for the Grand Theft Porto t-shirts are still on talkingwalls.co.uk for the rest of the week. But I do hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you all very, very soon.